Okay, everybody. Sorry for a bit of the wait. Had to make sure certain individuals were down for their nap, if you know what I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, I wanted to come on here and give you my thoughts on tomorrow's Elimination Chamber event. Yeah, like I said, I know I should have got on and did this earlier, except like I said, I wanted to make sure certain people were down for uh, down for the nap, if you know what I mean, even before I did it. So I can try to do it a little bit in private, if you will. So, yeah, again, I do apologize for a bit of a wait. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, hold on, I'm trying to. Oops, I want to do that. Yeah, just trying to look up something. Hold on for a sec. Just, okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure. To make sure everybody sees us live right now. uh, but yeah, I wanted to come on here and basically give you guys my predictions for the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night from Las Vegas, Nevada. You um, and I just watched OTR Essentials prediction preview video, and quite honestly, I can definitely tell that Jeff is not too enthused about this because it's like pretty much if you want a pay per view where you can win. This is the way it looks like. Jeff is basically saying, from what I could tell from Jeff's review, it's basically if you want a pay per view, if you want to bet on a pay per view, you want to bet on certain matches for a pay per view where you know you can win easy money. Elimination Chamber would be it. Yeah, Elimination Chamber would be it. And I don't think you can really blame him for feeling that way because I think he and Alex, the Lex Man, Chase Oliver, anybody else watching, what have you, um, pretty much you can't really blame any of those people for feeling that way because everybody has said since the beginning that it's already been projected since WrestleMania last year, since Brock Lesnar beat Goldberg. It's been projected since WrestleMania last year that that WWE was setting up to Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for this year, and that it seems that no matter what you try to do, whether you try to put the Shield back together, which fans love seeing because fans been wanting to see that to be a shield, as some people put it, to protect Roman Reigns and get the fans behind him. Whether it's giving Roman the Intercontinental Championship or having him manhandled by Braun Strowman. The point is, the point is, it did not. The point is, you could do all that, but here's the thing: nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying for a second that, yeah, you're doing all this is to try to throw us off, but the truth is we know you're still trying to go for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. We're not buying any of this crap that you're putting in front of us. And I don't know what's with the WWE, honestly, when it comes to that. Don't you would think that they would realize, hey, fans ain't buying what we're selling them. Why don't we just come out and say, yeah, this is what we plan to do? I don't know. I don't know, what WWE is thinking when it comes to any of this, because it's like, if you got someone like OTR Central, and you have Deluxe Man, and you have maybe Bill Apter, Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, Solomonster, who I forgot to tweet this to, I'll tweet that to in a minute, Brian Zane of Wrestling with Regret, Pro Wrestling Insider, Pro Wrestling Torch. When you pretty much have a lot of these people coming out and saying what they know is going to happen, or basically coming out and predicting what's going to happen, you know, it's like you can't really blame them, because everybody from Solomonster to Alvarez to Meltzer to Don Tony and Kevin Castle, um, to, like I said, to Deluxe Man and OTR Central, Apter, Bill Apter, maybe, you know, Pro Wrestling Insider, Pro Wrestling Reports, David Hero, Damian Nelson, everybody that I'm speaking of, even those that have been in the business, competed for WWE, are pretty much coming out and saying the same thing. It's like, what is the point of doing all this when we pretty much know what WWE wants to do? I mean, the only thing I can think of, when it comes to this year's Elimination Chamber is the fact that the reason they've decided to go with 7 instead of 6 is, and this is only an opinion, this is only a thought, that, knowing WWE, they probably realize, oh, we backed ourselves into a corner again, that the only thing I can think WWE would do is have a double pinfall victory, basically 2 people winning the match for the men's, and thus you would have a triple threat for the Universal Championship. And the only way that makes sense is if you have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns both pin whoever the last guy is to be eliminated. Or, well, that wouldn't work anyway, but that wouldn't work, but basically pin each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, both have one arm over the other in some manner. Like, they're both lying down like this, and one arm, and Roman's arm is draped over Seth's body, Seth's arm draped over Roman's body, and you get a double pin. That to me is the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing that I can think of that they're doing. That's what I'm saying is, okay. Let me finish this. Let me try to get this out. That's the only reason why I think they're going with uh, the 7-man positioning in this match. That's the only reason they're doing the 7-man deal with this match is to give us two winners, co-winners of the match instead of one. And if they're pushing Seth the way they are right now, because right now his current positioning for Mania is up in the air, then I could probably see them giving Seth a co-victory along with Roman, and thus we would have a repeat in a sense of WrestleMania 31. Why? Because fans would, and what and why? Because fans would probably prefer seeing that kind of a match instead of Roman and Brock closing out the show. So, to me, I think that's the only thing I'm sorry. My mom's watching One Day at a Time on Netflix right now, or at least she's trying to. She's asleep right now as we speak. But anyway, what I was trying to say is basically, them adding Seth to this match and making it a 7-man elimination chamber match. It's only done because of the fact that I think like I said, I think they realized they're backing themselves into a corner again, just like they did 3 years ago, and they got to find a way to bail themselves out. So pretty much, they're either going to go with Seth or any one of the other guys to make the match at WrestleMania a triple threat. They either go with Seth, thus we have a rematch from 31. They either go with Finn, and thus Finn gets his rematch for the title that he never lost. They either go with maybe The Miz, kind of reward him by saying, hey, you've really broken out this past few years. Here you go. Here's a main event match. You either go with Cena, and I know people don't want that. They go with Elias. That would be a huge surprise. Or they go with the other logical choice besides Seth or Finn, and that's Braun. You don't got no opponent for Braun except maybe The Miz, according to reports. But the most logical direction, if you don't want to go that way, is for Braun to be added to this match. You have Braun basically the same scenario plays out. Braun and Roman are knocked out. Boom, double pin on each other. Both get in the match. Same with Finn and Roman, Seth and Roman. The possibilities are endless, but that's the only reason to me they're doing this 7-man shift in the Elimination Chamber match is to give us a co-winner so you get a triple threat Universal title match at WrestleMania. And they know that. And they know that by doing that, they at least try to get themselves out of that corner that they backed themselves out of. They will have some kind of excuse of saying, hey, see, it's not just Brock and Roman, it's this guy too. And here's the thing. WWE wouldn't have to do that. WWE wouldn't have to, WWE wouldn't have to do that if they weren't so predictable. That's the only reason, in my opinion, they're doing the 7-man deal. Now, would I be surprised if they don't do that and they just go with Roman? No, I don't think myself or anybody else would be surprised because WWE is not going to give up on making Roman the next big thing. But here's what WWE has to. Let me just shift my thing there for a moment. But here's what WWE has to. They have to realize nobody is buying the situation right now. Nobody is buying what they're giving them. You see, nobody's going to want to cheer Roman at WrestleMania. They'll cheer Brock over Roman more than they will anything else. They'll cheer Brock to want to basically they'll want to cheer Brock to see him go out there and wipe the floor with Roman. you know, what's funny is what's funny is I don't think WWE realizes the mess they've gotten themselves into. Because we've always seen signs and stuff saying, "Oh, if so and so wins, we riot." And there have been examples at times where wrestling fans, hardcore wrestling fans, will live up to what they say. There's a certain core group of fans, maybe about 20, 50, maybe hundreds, maybe. I would say more along the line of 20 to 50 will try to get together and start rioting right after the event's over. They try to block the wrestlers' exit out of the Superdome. They'll do anything to basically get back at the WWE for what they did, for the decision they've made. And that's what they've got to make. That's what I think between now and April 8th, they got to realize, okay, do we go with Roman over Brock, or do we work out a deal with Brock and keep him another year or so, another couple of months, and have him drop the belt at SummerSlam to somebody else, and thus fans are not too upset, or do we give it to whoever the third party we put in the match is? You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? It makes more sense. It makes more sense, but basically that is what WWE has to do, and has to do in the next month or so. They got to basically say, okay, what decision do we go with? Do we possibly deal with a riot, very small but very hostile environment if we go this route? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Mother's awake. Kind of. Hold on. But anyway, like I said, do they go that route? I don't know. It's, the thing is, WWE has after tomorrow night and the day before Mania to come up with a decision. Because if they go with Roman, I do not pity WWE with the reaction he'll get. I mean, okay? Here's the thing: you think Roman gets booed now? You think Roman Reigns gets booed now? And sometimes he gets some of the loudest boos around. You think he gets that now? Just imagine when he walks down that aisle to the ring for the match at Mania, and if he wins, and imagine the reaction he'll get if he wins. The smart money, if they're going to go in match order at Mania, if they decide to go with Roman and Brock, like everybody's pretty much predicting, then the smart money is to have that match go on in the middle of WrestleMania. I understand Brock probably has it contractually in his contract that he has to main event or semi-main event WrestleMania, something like that. But guess what? Right now, he's in a situation to where nobody wants to see this match. What you do is you put this match probably in the middle of the event, maybe at the end of the first hour, into the second hour, or end of the third hour, or end of the second hour, into the third hour. You put it around that time frame. You put it either here's the thing, you either put it at the most likely you put it at the end of the second hour into the third hour, and thus you give fans at least an hour, at least you get that match out of the way, and fans at least maybe have another hour or so, an hour and a half, to kind of wipe themselves clean of that match, wipe themselves clean of the result of that match, and focus on the rest of Mania. You know, here's the hard truth about it: fans would rather look forward to watching, let's say, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that might come after or come before, instead of watch that. One thing that everybody says about the women at times, and even at the cruiserweights in the past, are certain matchups and all that are booked for pay-per-views. They always call them piss breaks, right? They always say there are certain parts of the pay-per-view that you call your piss break. This here, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, is going to be a major piss break. And it's not just going to be the people watching at home. It's going to be the people at the Superdome. They're going to look at that and say, you know what? Oh, bell rang. Oh, I got to go potty. Do, 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 do. I mean, I'm not going to put it past a lot of fans to do that. I want to put it past that you see a lot of freaking empty seats the moment that match happens, and then the moment the match ends, all those seats get refilled. Everybody comes back to the seats saying, good, we didn't have to see that match. We know what happened. So, so pretty much, if I'm WWE, again, what I'm saying is pretty much WWE's paid themselves in the corner, and that's the only reason they've done the they've gone the 7-man route for the men's elimination chamber. Pretty much they're hoping they're either going to go with Roman all the way, or they're going to give us co-winners. Either it's going to be Roman and Rollins, Roman and Strowman, or Roman and Balor. That's pretty much one of the only main 3 options they got. And if they can't get Taker against Cena, then Cena would be a wild card option. But mainly the best bets are Roman Rollins, Roman Strowman, or Roman Balor as the co-winners of tomorrow night's men's elimination chamber match. Because again, that's the only reason they're doing this. And if they don't go that route and they just decide to go Roman all the way, the best bet is to put that match on at the end of the second hour into the third hour. Thus, you get it out of the way and you give fans at least an hour and a half or so remaining of Mania without having to, you basically give fans the next hour and a half of Mania reigns free because they'll realize, because you've just given them the match, you've given them the result, they pretty much know what's going to happen. You got that out of the way. Now they can focus on the rest of Mania. That's if they don't go the triple threat route, which I believe they're going to, because right now, WWE has painted themselves in a freaking corner. And guess what? Okay. Alex, if you're watching, hopefully, if you think the attendance at WWE on the SmackDown side of things when Mahal was bad, and even as bad now with Road Dogg, as the head writer, which, oh, by the way, God forgive me for saying this, fire Road Dogg, hashtag fire Road Dogg. If you think the attendance is bad now, just wait. Just wait if they go all the way with Roman. Not only winning tomorrow night, but winning against Brock. Imagine what happens. Imagine what happens to that attendance. It's going to go. That's right. Think of it this way. It's going to do the Wile E. Coyote deal off a cliff. Do, 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 do. And that's it. Or it's going to be someone walking and falling off a cliff into a never-ending dark hole. He just keeps falling and falling and falling. That's what's going to happen if they go the Roman Reigns route. The best bet, and I know I've been ranting on this, or not ranting, but talking about this since I began this. The best bet is for them to go the triple threat route, and the best bet out of that is to have whoever the additional person is, whether it's a Rollins, a Balor, or a Strowman, be the one that walks out of Mania with the Universal Championship. That's the best bet you got, because you know what? Fans would rather see that. Fans would rather see that than see Reigns win tomorrow night and then basically get built up to Mania and then win at Mania. They're not going to want that. They're not going to want that. And again, that attendance is going to drop. That attendance is going to drop like somebody falling off a cliff into a never-ending pit. So honestly, my prediction is not Roman. My prediction is So here's my prediction for the men's elimination chamber match. We're gonna get this out of the way. It's not Roman. It's Roman and it's Strowman. That's what you go with. Because I think they're gonna have Rollins set up with either Angle or maybe Jordan if he's cleared. And Balor, I think, is going to be facing The Miz. So my prediction, we're going to get co-winners tomorrow night. It's going to be Roman and Strowman, and we're going to have Roman, Strowman, and Lesnar at Mania. And the best, safest decision they can make going into that, if they want that to close out the show, is Strowman walking out champion. It's the best bet. So my prediction, we're getting dual winners tomorrow night, and as a result, we're getting Strowman, Roman, and Lesnar at Mania. Bank on it. Bank on that. All right. Now we do have the women's, and I'll talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about some other matches. We do have a dark match. We have Gallows and Anderson against the Miztourage, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Gallows and Anderson are going to go over in this match. I think this is going to be. I think the reason Gallows and Anderson are getting these kind of matches is to slowly build them up. Win or lose, to slowly build them back up to tag team title status. Because I think sometime between some point in this year, because I believe some point during this year, all three are going to hold championships. The Battle Club is going to hold a championship. It's going to hold a singles and the tag titles. I can almost feel that. They wouldn't put them back together if they weren't building up to that. So I think that's what's going to happen. Next up, we have Woken Matt Hardy against Bray Wyatt. I know a lot of people are kind of disappointed right now with the way Matt's Woken character has been booked. I mean, he does have some saying what he can do. You got to remember this is not like Impact, so he's got to be very careful about what he can bring to the table. But I'm predicting Woken Matt Hardy to win this match. I predict him to win it, and it will probably get a blow-off match at Mania, and it's going to be a very unusual match. I got a feeling if we get a blow-off match at Mania. Either a blow-off match at Mania or on Raw, but I'm predicting it's going to be at Mania, and it's going to be very, very unusual. Mania might be where we get maybe something similar to Apocalypto or Final Deletion. That's what I'm thinking. I know nobody wants to hear that, but I believe that's what we're getting. I think that's what we're going to get at Mania. We're going to get one more match between these two in some shape or form at Mania, and it might be similar to a Final Deletion or something like that. All right. Next up, we have the Bar against Titus Worldwide with the Tag Team Championships on the line. I know some people are thinking that Titus Worldwide is going to break up because of what happened on Mixed Match Challenge. I'm not going to say that's going to amount to anything because I just don't think it will. I mean, Titus Worldwide is actually getting over with the crowd. They're actually enjoying it. So why would you want to break up something that's seemingly on the verge of breaking the glass ceiling as far as being together? And, whether you like Dana Brooke or you don't, it's getting her over. So, I don't know. I think here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. You want to pull a sharker, even if it's for one night or 1 week, you have Titus Worldwide go over. You have Titus Worldwide go over, and then maybe a week or so later, you let the Bar win the championships back because you're gonna have time between after tomorrow night and Mania to set something else up, maybe a third and final match or something like that. So I'm going with Titus Worldwide to pull an upset here. I know it's a long shot, but I'm going with Titus Worldwide. I think even if it's for 1 week, at least you know I think it's best to go with Titus Worldwide because why would you be having them upset the Bar in tag team matches and singles matches if you weren't going to if it wasn't going to result in them becoming tag team champions even for a week? So I'm predicting Titus Worldwide to become the champions at least maybe for a week or so, and then they'll probably drop them back to the Bar. All right. Next match, we have Nia Jax against Asuka. Stipulation: if Jax wins, she'll be added to Asuka's championship match at WrestleMania, mostly the Raw championship match. But here is what's interesting. You don't want to end Asuka's undefeated streak just yet, and you're finally building Nia up to being that monstrous force she needs to be in the women's division of Raw. So what do? You know it's already set in stone that Asuka's going to Mania. You know in a sense it's already set in stone Nia's going to Mania. Both are going to have dominant performances. So here's what I think is going to happen. Nia Asuka's not going to lose her undefeated streak on basically an in your Asuka. What I'm saying is not going to lose her undefeated streak on essentially what is none other than an in your house like event. So I don't think she's going to get pinned or submitted. I don't think that's going to happen. Nia, you don't want her to look weak or anything, especially if you want to position her for Mania. So, so I think honestly, what's going to happen here, and not a lot of people are going to like it. I'm going with the double countout rule. I really am. I'm going with the countout rule. Basically, Asuka gets counted out, but she's not. But we've seen this before. She's still undefeated. She's not been pinned or submitted or anything. I think we've seen her get counted out or something like that in NXT, but it doesn't hurt an undefeated streak because the only way an undefeated streak comes to an end with someone like her is you pin her or you make her submit. Heck, even in WCW, when Goldberg would lose by countout when he was doing his undefeated deal, they would still say he's undefeated because no one had pinned him or made him submit. So, so hold on for a sec. So, I'm predicting. No, I'm predicting. I'm either it's going to go two ways. I think we're either going to get a double count out because it protects both ladies, or Asuka's going to get counted out, but it's not going to hurt her because an undefeated streak has to come to an end by pinfall or submission, not by count out. So, that's what I think is going to happen. We're gonna go the count out route, but it's either going to be a double count out or it's going to be a count out victory for Nia over Asuka. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to go to the count out route. I really do. And like I said, it's either going to be Asuka that gets counted out, but still is undefeated because she hasn't been pinned yet, or Nia is going to get counted out, or both are going to get counted out. So it's going to be one of those directions they go with. So, um, yeah, that this is a match that even though some may say it doesn't make any sense, is kind of intriguing because you don't know exactly what decision they'll go with because, like I said, you don't want to end Asuka's undefeated streak on a basically an in your house event like Elimination Chambers. So I'm definitely going to say that whatever direction they go in, it's going to be a count out direction, and basically it's going to protect both women. That's what it's going to do. But here's what the end result's going to be. I think it's going to be for not when it, well, not for not, but like I say, either Oscar getting counted out or both getting counted out helps them both out. And like I said, it keeps Oscar's undefeated streak alive because no one's pinned her or made her submit yet. So my thought process is this is my thought process is it's going to be a win-win for both of them because, well, if Asuka stays and we get a triple threat Raw women's match, but mostly this is being set up, in my opinion, to get Nia, make it easier for Nia to get into a Raw match with the Raw Women's Champion, while Asuka, in the aftermath of this, goes to SmackDown and challenge Charlotte. So I think that's what's going to happen. And you know what? Maybe Asuka going to SmackDown is exactly what SmackDown needs because, yeah, Road Dogg, try writing her and see what happens. Try writing stories for her and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what happens. We don't know. But I'm going with the count out route. Either it's Asuka getting counted out or we get a double count out. Then, next up, we have the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Sonya Deville. I think it's obvious that they're going to go with Alexa Bliss in this because of the setting up Nia to be part of the Raw Women's Championship. It only makes sense from a storyline perspective, if not real life perspective, that Alexa is her opponent. So Alexa, I believe, is going to win. I think she's going to squeak it out. Like there's going to be a moment where something's going to happen between her and the final opponent, and she's going to end up getting the win. I don't know what it's going to be, but she's going to end up squeaking it out. Let's just put it that way. As far as Bayley and Sasha goes, there is a source reporting that Bayley could possibly be turning heel. Even Bayley has said she's in. And here's what backs that up. Bayley even said in an interview she's interested in turning heel as well. She'd like to try to play both sides of the fences once in her career. So, with the fact that she's going to be teaming with Elias at an SMG show on the 16th, on March 16th, against Nikki Bella and John Cena, it'll be really interesting to see how that comes about. My opinion, honestly, is I think we are going to get a Bayley heel turn. I just feel it's coming because, out of all the women in the Raw locker room, especially, in the Raw locker room, or the Raw Women's division, you would look at Bayley and think she's the less likely. Yeah. Everybody basically thinks it's not going to happen. Well, guess what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Bayley, I think, is going to turn on Sasha. A lot of people are thinking, oh, it's going to be Sasha. Sasha's finally going to turn. We're going to get the heel boss that we're used to seeing from NXT. That's what you think. Remember, it's always the one you least suspect, and the one that they least suspect right now is Bayley. So expect a Bayley heel turn to happen either tomorrow night, or the next night. That's when it's going to happen. Believe me, it's going to happen. They're swerving us. They may think they got us, and maybe they do have a lot of us thinking that they won't do that because Bayley's too natural as a babyface. Gee, didn't we think that about Sami Zayn? And look what Sami Zayn's done. Even though it's probably predictable he's going to go babyface again in the next several weeks to set up something maybe with Owens at Mania. The truth is, look what Sami's been able to do. He's become a heel and he's ran with it. And you know what? It was actually a good decision for him to make because, he's showing that he can be a natural babyface, but he can also be a very annoying, shut him, beat the hell out of him kind of crap heel. So I think Bayley can be the same way. And you know what? It could correspond with Izzy. Izzy became a heel on an independent show. So with Bayley's number one fan going heel and showing more of a liking for someone like, let's say, Alexa Bliss, it would only make sense naturally, storyline wise, and maybe real life wise for Bayley in storyline to go heel and give it a try. And you know what? You never know what you can get with that. You never know what kind of Bayley you'll get. So I'm predicting that Alexa Bliss is going to retain, and I'm predicting a Bayley heel turn in this matchup because, like I said, you think it's going to be Sasha, but in the end, it's going to be Bayley. Bet me anything on that. So overall, again, the winners I'm going with are Titus Worldwide, woke Titus Worldwide to uh, win the tag team titles for at least a week. Woken Matt Hardy to go over Bray, which would set up something for Mania, some maybe a final deletion like match. Uh, Nia Jax winning by countout, or we get a double countout in the match between her and Asuka. Gallows and Anderson going over the Miztourage. I predict a double pinfall, a double pin with Roman and Braun getting the victories over each other, thus being the co-winners of the men's 7-man elimination chamber match. And then, like I said, for the women, I'm predicting Alexa Bliss to retain, and in the process, we are going to get the swerve revealed, and we're going to get a Bayley heel turn instead of a Sasha one. So that's pretty much going to be it for my predictions and previews for tomorrow's or tonight's now, seeing as though it's 7 minutes after midnight, Elimination Chamber event. Again, I know some people like the Schleg Daddy at OTR Central in their review, they pretty much asked, why should I care? And again, I don't blame Jeff for feeling that way or anybody else feeling that way, because pretty much Elimination Chamber is very predictable. It's like I said at the beginning, you want an event, a wrestling event you can make easy money off of, a bet on and make easy money off of, especially since you're going to be in Vegas if you're attending, this would be it. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Hopefully, maybe some of the predictions I came up with will come true in some sense, because that's the only way I think this would get a passing grade from anybody. So, because if not, just like Jeff plans to do at OTR Central, so I've got a feeling so does everybody else plan to do. If some of the predictions that I came up with don't come true in some sense, it makes the show a little bit more interesting and maybe unpredictable, then expect some rants and hashtags to go out and about out after tomorrow. So, but that's really all I could say on my predictions and my previews and predictions for Elimination Chamber. Again, I know not a lot of people are looking forward to it because they feel pretty much everything is set in stone when it comes to various winners, various matches, and who's going to go over and what will come out of it. But again, I'm hoping that maybe I'll be proven wrong, and maybe we'll get something else. Maybe something will occur that we don't see happening. Again, I'm hoping they go with the double pin route with Roman and Strowman, because fans, I believe, would rather see Braun Strowman in that match and walk out with the championship instead of Roman Reigns. Believe me, I just got that feeling. So, um, yeah, that's gonna do it for my predictions and previews video, and I hope you guys all liked it, and thank you all for tuning in live and post live. Let me know what you all think down below. When you get a chance to watch this. But again, my predictions are Titus Worldwide to become champions at least for a week. Woken Matt over Bray, which would lead to some kind of maybe final deletion match at Mania. Gallows and Anderson over the Miztourage. We either get Nia beating Asuka by countout or a double countout in their match. I see Alexa Bliss going over and retaining her championship in her chamber match. While at the same time, we're going to get the swerve of a Bayley heel turn instead of a Sasha one. And in the men's, I predict a double pin with both Braun and Roman being co-winners of the match. So that's what I feel is going to happen, and that's what I feel is going to happen and should happen tomorrow night, if you will, at the Elimination Chamber in Vegas. So Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you all for watching live and post live after it's been uploaded. Let me know what you all think. Deluxe Man OTR Central Chase. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in response to my predictions video, my preview and predictions video. Again, thank you all for watching. God bless. Take care. I'm gonna go lie down and get some Z's. So peace out. God bless. And I'm off.